Good evening, Nation's Corner family, friends,
Boom.
and family. I am John of South Jersey, your host tonight, joined by the usual cast of characters, of course, the all-powerful and knowing Deb Housen. How are you tonight, Deb?
I'm good. I feel like I haven't been on in a while. I think I had maybe 3 weeks away from the show.
Forever.
Yeah, there was unfortunately my grandmother died a couple weeks ago. So, I had some family stuff to take care of. So I was away for that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm back. It's about to be a new month. It's Halloween.
Two more
Everything's
days
good.
to Halloween, Halloween,
Yeah.
Halloween. 2 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Speaking of Halloween, all the way from that mythical country of Monrovia by way of the Long Island Expressway. He is the one, the only man of 1,000 props, Mr. Mongrovian Mike. How are
I
you
am
tonight?
ready for Halloween. Me and little Leo, we're going to be giving away little mini Slim Jims to all the kids.
He's going to
Here
come
we
and
go.
egg your house
Little
on Mischief Night.
Leo.
He is going to come and egg your house on Mischief Night for that.
No, Leo wouldn't treat eggs like that.
Oh, but he can
How it
carry Slim
goes.
Jims.
That's how it
okay.
goes. Welcome to my nightmare.
Shout out to Al Cooper. All right, guys. So, in the words of Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about? I mean, I don't know if we have anything. I guess we could think of a couple things. But
couple of things.
First, I want to give a big shout out to those at the ECW arena tonight. Our own Steve is there repping the crew. And I'm really, really, really bummed that I couldn't be there. I had to work earlier today, so that's why I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
I think it's on title match.
Yes, it is on title match, not fight. $14.99, and I believe it starts 8 p.m.
It's gonna be a great show. I'm really excited to see what they do on this show, and then WrestleMania weekend is going to be
announcement coming from Timothy Embler, the guy that runs both Icons and Battleground.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you see, David LaGreca was supposed to be the guest referee for the Enzo.
So
Bully Ray match, but the Bears were chasing him, and he fell. So
Dave's back is hurting. So
his back is really hurt. So no joke. He's legit really hurting. So
this ain't a work, brother. It's a shoot.
No,
and we send the court best wishes out to our good friend and comrade Dave LaGreca on a speedy recovery.
Yes,
he is surrounded by his loved ones, of course, the lovely Violetta, and about 8,000-9,000 cats at this point.
The LaGreckis are here supporting you, bro. The LaGreckis are here for you.
Get your card. Become a member of the LaGrecki Legion. Wow. Can't say that 3 times fast, but really cool card. I mean, do we want to talk about this, or we just want to?
We don't have to go through every match, but I mean, I'm obviously Danny Moe and Facade are on the card. We're all big fans of them.
Big Nation's favorites.
The Neon Ninjas.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Holodead is there. She obviously always puts on a crazy match.
Yeah.
She'll be going against Tasha Steelz.
Poor Tasha.
We love
and.
Sorry, Tosh. Sorry for your jersey.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Well, sometimes
the big thing is Bully Ray and Real One Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that Bully I'm assuming the match is going on first because Bully always goes on first.
Right.
We know that. We've learned that.
So Busted Open's very own Ariel is going to be walking down with the barbed wire bat for Bully, walking him down to the ring for the match. We don't know who's going to be the referee, if they have a guest referee or not. And also, hopefully, Bully gets to use the Slim Jim nunchucks that our very own Steve Metalhead.
Shout out to Steve and PA.
Shout out to Steve, man. Listen, when you're around this guy Steve, people, you can't help but feel like your IQ is about 20 points higher. Like that's how he makes you feel, and he's always positive. I mean, he even tries to make Chad feel positive, but good luck with that.
I once described Steve as wisdom coming out the wazoo, and I stand by that.
Yep,
I stand by that.
He's a funny dude, and just the fact that he thought of making a pair of Slim Jim nunchucks, and he came through with it. And wait till you people see it. That might be worth the $14.99 alone.
Yes.
Match to check this out. We're not being paid by Battleground. We're just big supporters of Bully Ray and the nation.
Yeah. Yep. And Enzo, come on, don't forget about Enzo.
Oh, yeah, everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Doesn't mean I'm not still rooting for him.
Everybody knows.
As I said on Twitter, to Bully, chin up, tits out. To Enzo, watch out for the Slim Jims.
Yep.
Yeah. My shirt's gonna say chins up, tits flopping. Watch out for the cane.
Right.
Oh God.
And a quick shout out to our own Deb tonight, of course, sporting the iconic, absolutely iconic ECFNW.
ECFNW.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right, so. How about?
Are we in the freaking Halloween spirit, people?
What exactly is the Halloween spirit? I'll piggyback off of that.
Look around. I mean, I got my zombie head is even feeling cool tonight. She's wearing the orange costume glasses.
Dude, just because I understand it has all that cool stuff in their elder, but let's face it, your area there looks like booth number 217 at the local flea market. There is literally everything. You realize that when
as long as my area doesn't look like the unkept median in exit 58 on the Long Island Expressway.
That is true. But
what area are you talking about?
Your area that you're in right now. No, your area you're in your house now, down in the downstairs part. Since the cave. The cave. That place that your wife bans you to, that you're not bringing any of that shit up here.
Gene Simmons is a Gabby Laspiza guy. Look at him; he's wearing a Gabby Laspiza guy shirt. Just shout out to Gabby for the killer podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Gabby.
Everybody.
I listened to the debut episode of Gabby AF this morning at work. Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Awesome job, Gabby. We love you.
Very entertaining. She sounded like she hadn't missed a beat. Yeah.
Yes.
We'll try. But man, for all you out there listening and those of us in the nation know, it's going to be absolutely a Wacky Racer's foot race to Elder's house if and when he eventually leaves us. I mean, he is about 7,000 years old at this point, but eventually time is going to run out. It's going to be a Wacky Racer's foot race to his house just to get to all that crap that's down in his cave.
I mean, not gonna lie, when me and Tony and Chris visited, we were already claiming stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we were walking around that room going, yeah, that's mine.
I know some of the stuff he has. And I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to come right out and say it. Y'all going to get these hands if you think you're going to grab some of the stuff I got in mind. And I will. Listen,
you guys all know that every time I see you guys, I give somebody something. And it always means something. So. Mm-hmm. It's never just like, oh, here, I got this for you. It wasn't like, oh, I saw it. It's something, like, what I mean.
True.
Yes, that's true. But I'm just warning you all. I might only have one leg, but I still got two hands. And you'll get them if you start trying to grab something out of Elder's house that I want. Yes. Speaking of two hands, it seemingly that's about the size. What LA Knight needs to carry his balls around with him right now, especially after SmackDown last night and the contract signing with Roman Reigns. And wow, kick Roman out of the head of the table, and of course Paul Heyman being Paul Heyman, then trying to reposition and move the table so that Roman is at the head sitting down, and LA Knight's like,
not only that, he interrupted Roman's 10-minute entrance.
Yes, yes, he did.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that made me pop. Roman has, you know what? The hell with these haters. He doesn't have to say a word. The look he gives the look he gives is kind of like his signature, like Rocky's eyebrow. Like, look he gives.
This mother effer right here.
He gives the same look to LA Knight. He gives the same look to Jimmy when he jumps on the couch and he's yeeting him. I don't like that.
I don't want you to say. I tell you about
that.
Stop saying that. You know, you gave that look like yet again. Why are you coming in here messing up my couch?
And extra points to LA Knight for popping us with the succotash.
Yes,
that was great because that was a real dig at
that
Roman.
Actually happened.
It happened, and Roman hates it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh I'm sure
that's back
he does.
when he first got the new teeth, and he hadn't quite.
Especially when he heard a guy like Arn Anderson, AA, was saying, "What grown man is gonna say suffer and succotash?"
Right.
And like, whatever. Okay, it's water under the bridge. That's the old Roman.
Whatever.
But that's again. Of all the amazing things the Bloodline story and stuff has had, and all the people, I refer to it often, but Mark Henry said a while back on Busted Open that there are people that are pulled into the gravitational pull of and become in the orbit of the Bloodline.
It's a vortex at this point.
And we look at all the people that have been involved with it, not just with the Bloodline themselves, the Uso, Solo, Roman, Heyman.
It's a combustible force. It is.
Yes. And that right there, LA Knight bringing that call back all the way back pre-Bloodline. And that's just the little things that WWE has been hitting on and everything. And
this is just getting us ready too for the go-home show to a
house show,
custom house show.
Yeah,
it's a custom match. But they've from the earlier days to now, they've really assimilated to how they want to tell a story and get the stories going and still making cohesive to what they're trying to do stateside. So
I will say that in the beginning of the Saudi shows, it was definitely just kind of random matches because that's what the Prince wanted or whatever.
It was dream matches.
But now they have definitely made those shows part of the storyline. So you do, in order to keep up with the story, you do kind of have to watch it.
And inclusive.
Yeah.
Right. They've definitely improved a lot since the beginning of it, but obviously, there's still some improvement to be made, obviously.
I don't know. I just want to make the comment that you've seen how like Charlotte and Bianca and all of the women in WWE have been dressing. They've really been showing zero skin. But man, if they go out in one of these outfits, those Saudi heads are going to fucking explode. I'm sorry.
True. They're definitely not used to it.
What is it? Less is more?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. This less is a lot.
Even the gear that we've seen in the past, from the past female wrestlers that have been on the Saudi show. Yeah, granted, it may not be their normal gear or even as revealing, but it's still first-rate gear that looks absolutely great on them and makes an impact, regardless that it doesn't, show anything.
Yeah, we know they got to wear loose garb and everything. So just as long as it's not too dangerous,
it's not going to affect them in the ring.
Whatever they're doing doesn't endanger them with,
Yeah.
Well, actually, though, if you think about it, though. But last night was the go home show for SmackDown anyway, because next week, come Friday, they're already going to be en route to Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
With the travel. So last night, absolutely, to me, it had that go home show type of feel. Now, I don't know that they'll probably have a little bit something more to continue on Raw Monday night, because that theoretically would be the go home show because of the travel involved. So, but that was, and they did it right. That opening segment with LA Knight and Roman and Paul, that set up the match later on, which was the main event, which was LA Knight and Jey Uso. But again, SmackDown
called an audible.
Yeah.
He called an audible.
Yes, he did. And Roman don't like audibles. He's told them that you're not here to think. And he keeps. I'm telling you, he keeps going rogue like this.
I just want to make a point. Remember, like just a few weeks ago, there were not just in our group. But you saw people saying, "Gee, I think what are they doing? It's the same, I don't know." Mm-hmm. And you know what? That just like that with the drop of a friggin' hat, you turn around and called an audible. Bam! You got. They called an audible and they got something going now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now we're right back in, and it's it's going to be full steam ahead till 40.
Oh yeah. This feels like maybe like the third or fourth time that it's been like that, where people are starting to feel like maybe it's getting a little stale, and then boom, they kick it up another notch.
No, absolutely. Just when you think, just to paraphrase the late Roddy Piper, just when you think you know all the answers, I change the questions, and that's it. Every time that it's just been this constant, refresher, gone into a different angle or a different part of the story that you're like, oh man, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, here I am, right back in every week.
Like Triple H said, they were comparing it to a baseball game, so it's like a 20 pitch, inning. What I mean? It's like some innings are like 1, 2, 3, and other innings
sometimes everybody's working through the inning.
So you just
I think they're in like the fourth or fifth inning by now, though. If you're gonna still try to tell me you're still in the third inning, come on.
No, I would say we're probably we're not quite to the seventh inning stretch. I think that's more like Royal Rumble time.
Even if 40 winds up finishing Cody Rhodes' story, it doesn't necessarily finish the Bloodline story.
Right.
The Bloodline story obviously could be timeless. It could just There's so much. And they could be face too so easily. Like they have that ability that they've reached that status where they could turn around and have the crowd jumping up and down doing this with their arms, or booing the hell out of them.
Yelling yeet.
Exactly.
Don't think Dom can't have that crowd cheering as loud as they are.
Well, sure.
By next year, they're going to be cheering for him. It's going to turn.
Oh, it's good. It will.
Who's the one that's going to get turned on in that freaking Judgment Day? It's going to be Dom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
I want to give I just want to give a shout out real quick. A heartfelt condolences to Grayson Waller and everything that he's going through. I mean, I don't know if you saw his post today, but the poor man has to go to the UK.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Condolences.
I hope he brings a Slim Jim.
Really more than the Slim Jim. Fucking the Swifties are gonna have his head on a stake.
Oh yeah.
Well,
doing shoeies.
Well, guess what? All I gotta say to him is good luck and fuck around and find out.
Well, I ain't as scared of the Swifties.
I ain't either. I don't. Whatever.
Bunch of little 14-year-olds.
You're our Swiftie authority, so we're just going to go off of whatever you say. Because you are a fan of Taylor Swift and all that. And
and she's my age. She's not 14. She was 14 20 years ago.
Well, I am a hater.
But equally important.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
And the echo elder sentiment, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Anywho.
The people want to know.
The people want to know.
Shout out Maddie Renkowski reminding everybody just who the hell she is on the social medias this week. If you don't know, look at her. Look at any of her social medias for the pictures, or picture she posted. Very powerful message.
And everybody could get in her side character spotlight, because the spotlight is bouncing off of so much freaking gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's blinding.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
thank you.
We want to talk about TNA.
TNA, yes. We are leaving
Impact.
We are leaving the Impact era and moving back, back to the future of the TNA era, coming, I believe, in their first show next year in January or February.
Yeah, and to people worried out there that, oh my God, I was never into the TNA product. I've only been a fan of the Impact product. That's the only one I know, and it's okay. Just it's the same. It's all the same wrestlers.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. The name changed.
It only means they're going to sign a few bigger stars now, because they're on EW. They have that everybody. Whether you notice or not, a lot of people still were calling it TNA, like just out of habit. So it's kind of a no-brainer, and whatever you get out of it, who the hell cares what you think it stands for? It is total nonstop action.
Nonstop action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of TNA on there. Look at Tommy Dreamer. So you got it. I popped that. Hey, if you spit that whiskey coffee through your nose, man, that would burn.
Would burn. That's why I made sure that I didn't. And of course, just for the simple fact I'm wearing a white T-shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, a Danny Moe white T-shirt in honor of her wrestling tonight at the ECW Arena. But
it's just FYI for everybody that's for medicinal purposes.
Yeah, it's part of my therapy. It's part of my rehab.
Yes.
Yeah. It's doctor prescribed.
Yes.
Dr. John Jameson from Ireland.
I think it has the same properties.
Fine worldwide renowned.
It's bone medicine. It's bone medicine.
This crazy weather we've been having. Evidently, Mother Nature's off her meds again, because up here in the Northeast, it went from winter to summer literally overnight.
I walked by the screen before. And the little bit of the air came in. It was like hotter than inside.
Yeah.
Like inside was nice. And
I had mosquitoes.
I was like, what is it? Summer again?
I had flies and mosquitoes. I actually had some time a chance to get outside today, and I'm like, what the? It's end of October. Why do I have mosquitoes? Oh yeah. By the way, it's 80 degrees out today. Oh, that's why.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Like I said, Deb. Like I told you before the show,
Did you say ridiculous?
I'm imploring. Yes.
Ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous. But as I said that to you, I am imploring upon all of the lovely women and ladies I know that you all please take one for the team for all of us, and please sit down with Mother Nature and ask her kindly to get her shit together. Anywho.
And as I told you,
right,
we have no control over her.
Right, because you basically paraphrase the classic Al Bundy for Married with Children line of only people that understand women in the world are women, and they hate each other. Anywho,
back to TNA.
Yes, relax, people. Relax. It's going to be the same stuff you've been seeing.
So I will say I was super excited when I saw the announcement the next morning. I went to bed as soon as the pay-per-view was over. So I didn't see the announcement. So I saw it the next morning. Super excited. I never watched TNA. I since I was kind of a late fan to wrestling, as I guess you could say, I've been watching WWE for quite a while, but I wasn't really aware of all the other stuff that was out there. And I had heard I'd heard some things about TNA, like when Hogan was there, when Kurt Angle was there. And like I heard some things like, I think prior to the pandemic, I had heard some things about them, and I really only started watching Impact during the pandemic when they were on Twitch. Because I was like, oh, they're on Twitch, I could just sign up for that and watch it. The no crowd shows, it was what it was. But since the pandemic, they've really, really thrived. I think it's obvious that they have a very good team in place, that are running the shows.
Yep.
They have a great women's division. And we always talk about how the Impact's women's division is probably the best out there, other than NXT's women's division right now. But yeah, I think enough time has passed from the turmoil that happened back then.
The bad taste.
Yeah, enough time has passed that the bad taste has kind of gone away a little bit. The product has improved over the last several years, at least, and the nostalgia factor is starting to come in. So not only does the negative connotation of TNA has kind of faded, the nostalgia factor has increased. So that's a more positive connotation of the good things that happened in TNA.
Not only that, but like what Bully said, like the worldwide, like around the world too. TNA is so well known.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It never really died down, and you can tell that because so many fans, even though they know it's Impact, still will call it TNA.
I do.
Right.
I do.
And I think a lot of people have realized, myself included, who didn't really watch TNA. I've gone back and watched some things here and there. And I think people over time have realized that even though there was a lot of turmoil in TNA with changing of management a lot and all that kind of stuff, there was a lot of really good wrestling and good storylines on there that kind of got overshadowed by the negative stuff.
Yeah.
Good crowds, good ratings, and a good channel they got.
Yeah.
You
have to.
This is going to get them off of Access. That's what it's going to do.
God, I hope so. But you have to remember, going back to that era and their beginning and stuff, at one time, and a time where there was WWE and that's it, to be honest, and forget it for a second about AEW and stuff, Impact was a legitimate, contender. And they didn't have anything, but they were absolutely.
Not only that, John, it was on Spike, right? It was
like it was on. I remember flipping through the channels and seeing it.
Away. It was like 1, 2. You clicked 1, 2 channels and you were there, so you could always go back and forth, and forth.
Right. Yeah, and they were able to carve out a very strong niche on their own. And again, when they were just at their peak, that's when they started having issues. That's when they went through the global change, and then the Dixie Carter reign. And to be honest, in the aftermath of the whole Dixie Carter time of TNA, they were reputation wise, fan wise, attendance wise, viewership wise, it was all in the tank. And literally, it's been a build from that point, and we're about, I guess, almost about 10 years into that now to get back to this point that they are at. And, again, if you're not watching Impact, folks, you're wrong, and you need to correct that. But also, everybody was up in arms about this. Oh, they're changing the name back. They're not doing anything.
It's okay. It's
fine. You're still going to have the same people. And if you want a little further validation of just how serious this is, I know it's on YouTube, but after they did that whole video package and stuff at the end of Bound for Glory, and all Scott D'Amore was in there with all the original TNA wrestlers still on the roster, listen to Scott D'Amore's promo about this changing back to TNA.
Yep.
And one of the last lines he says, "This is effing we're effing back," and he drops the F-bomb. And it's a very impassioned, very legitimate. This is coming straight from his feelings and his heart. And listen, TNA's going to be just fine into this new change. And
I think
congratulations,
just to keep the record straight, he fined himself.
Yes, and congratulations to the very first wrestler to be signed under the new TNA banner. You guys know who it is?
PCO.
The man is not human, and he just got a brand new contract. That's right. Perfect
Please bring
Creation
Destro.
1.
He needs Destro.
I hope he brings Destro.
He's rudderless without Destro.
He is. He's just kind of wandering around screaming random people's names.
Eddie,
Steve, Bully.
He
had no idea. Eddie. See, because that's the whole thing. If you don't have Destro out there hitting them up with the jumper cables off the hearse every time, he just goes haywire.
Yes.
It just doesn't work.
Yes, he needs it's his defibrillators.
Yes, and I know you look at PCO sometimes and you just want to yell, "Hey, somebody come get their grandpa, please!" But the man, he's not human. If you
want him to start misfiring and diving out the wrong side.
Yes, just for no particular reason, he does a swanton onto the concrete floor below.
Yeah. Swantoning and pinning the ref instead of the opponent.
Yes.
Come on, you don't.
It's unbelievable the work the man has done. Absolutely unbelievable. So really shout out to him for a new contract, to being the first one to be officially signed under the new TNA banner.
And I did see earlier they signed, they're in the UK right now for their little UK tour, and they signed like a 19-year-old prodigy from the UK. So that'll be interesting to see. They're definitely starting to kind of build the young talent, like the developing. So yeah, I think they've grown a lot. They've improved a lot. They're really killing it, and I'm really, really excited.
The one thing, and TNA always has had excellent talent. And if you look at some of the people that came out of there, not your Kurt Angles, your Stings, your Hogans that were already established names, but AJ Styles, after being rejected by the WWE, became an absolute star in Impact or in TNA. Samoa Joe became a star in TNA.
Yeah.
Some might argue Kurt Angle had the best matches of his career in TNA.
True. And the same, you argue the same with Sting, with Joker Sting and all that. So
right,
it's not that it's not like they were AEW that just rely on this proven known talent. They developed and made stars of their own. AJ Styles, and for those that may or may not aware, the reason why AJ Styles left TNA originally was a big falling out between him and Dixie Carter, who was running TNA at the time, and that's what brought AJ Styles to Japan. And we kind of figure out how that all worked out and what that led to. So, shout out to AJ, too sweet.
Yeah, it's interesting the way everything happened. That if there was all that bad stuff that happened in Dixie Carter's reign,
right?
But if that hadn't happened, like you said, AJ Styles left pretty much because of disagreements with her. So if that didn't happen, maybe AJ Styles never goes to WWE. And
right.
It's just so interesting to think about those things, like how one decision affects another.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about a great storyline, I went back at like you're doing, Deb. You went back with watching the 83 weeks of the Monday Night Wars.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, but you're trying to watch that in chronological order and get involved with it like we were back then. But I went back because I never caught on to the whole thing, but Aces and Eights. So I searched that on YouTube, and it found someone did a chronological of like a playlist of all of the matches from the beginning, and just everything, Bully getting with Hogan and Brooke and all of that, and just the whole year saga and all different. he just kind of cherry picked all the matches, you know.
Right.
Right.
Did they go?
YouTube
cool.
is an incredible resource for that. It really is.
It was an unbelievable story when you think about that. This was for over a year, and it had you going back and forth, and you never.
So well done. Mike, did it end up with the title match against Jeff Hardy in the cage, or did it go after that?
It was in the cage, and Hogan and Brooke outside. And,
right, yeah. Did it end there, or did it continue on?
I don't know.
Very end?
I don't know. I didn't go past that.
Okay.
Watched up until that for that
day.
I fell down a rabbit hole a few weeks ago, but I just want people to know that.
Yeah.
You know, TNA, it was some good freaking shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
really
definitely.
Good.
There's
stuff.
so much on YouTube. So if anyone's interested in kind of looking back and seeing what TNA had, there's so much out there. And
you can
thank God for the people who take the time to put together those playlists.
Right. Because you've been searching forever. But here, watch what I do. Watch what I do right here.
Watch where you were questioned.
Watch what I do right here.
Bully, and Bully was saving someone else, and this and that. And it's just like
yeah. So
really
while you're searching around YouTube for all this stuff on TNA or old Ring of Honor matches or any wrestling in particular, make sure you're smashing our like and subscribe button. And then while you're surfing around YouTube, look at that. Nation's Corner's got a new show. Nation's Corner's got, because you'll be notified, people. Notified. See what I did there? See what I did there?
Bing.
John Bay, it's TOO. Sweet.
Greatest wrestler on God's green earth. Just ask Carl Anderson.
There we go. You want to hear I'm the old guy. Here we go. Hey.
Yeah. Where's your toothpick? Or did you eat it? There you go.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I got my pina colada flavored Ensure. I'm ready to go, man. I'm oozing my cheese bowl. And
you're oozing something, all right. You better check your medicine. You might want to go back to the doctor and get a stronger dose.
Oh, my God.
That's about all you have to look forward to.
Yeah. I wanted to mention quick, I know there hasn't really been much that's earth-shattering on AEW lately, but a couple things that I wanted to mention that I'm really enjoying. First of all, Tony Storm.
Yes.
Timeless.
Absolutely.
Timeless Tony Storm.
Too bad there wasn't a button that could turn us all black and white.
Yes.
Right.
We have to find that filter.
When we talk about Tony Storm, we should have the filter black and white.
If we thought ahead and actually planned ahead this show like people think we do, we would have had that. So when you were coming on to talk and say about Tony Storm, we could turn you black and white. Next time.
I don't know if we have that option.
We'll figure it out in post. Don't worry. We'll figure it
out. Okay. That will figure out who bit that. I'm still trying to figure out who bit that fucking Slim Jim. Who bit that Slim Jim in transit between me and Tony?
Yeah.
Whoever your middleman was.
He couldn't wait. He was hungry.
Hey, somebody hand you a snack like that. Damn right, you're going to take some of it.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
But anyway,
we all did it. If we're sitting around, if you're passing a joint to somebody, you're just not going to pass it over. You're going to take a hit of your own and then pass it along. Same thing.
Anyway, Tony Storm. So whoever had the idea of pairing Tony Storm with RJ City needs a raise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because RJ City loves that ridiculously over the top theatrical crap.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, the dramatic, the old style, you know, the vintage kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That is RJ City's that is his whole vibe. Yeah. So yeah, RJ being with Tony Storm for these vignettes and little pre-taped things. Mm-hmm. It's phenomenal. It's an exquisite pairing, and I'm so glad that they're doing this. It's crazy entertaining. The little silent films during picture-in-picture is a beautiful use of picture-in-picture. Mm-hmm. It really is. You know, it's like, remember during the pandemic when Sammy Guevara used to do the cue cards? And it would actually make you watch the picture-in-picture rather than zoning out because of the commercial or whatever. Or changing the channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really, really loving it. I think Tony has, like, I think she's really found something that she's very good at. And I know, you know, sometimes it takes a while, you know, sometimes like, look at all the greats in history, how they had characters in the past that kind of flopped or just were kind of off and it didn't click. And then all of a sudden it clicks.
Yeah.
And this clicked.
Yeah. You realize for TV, you need more than just to be great in the ring. And to have a cool character, you have to make that character. You have to make people connect with that character.
Yes.
And her other character was a cool character. It was like, oh, you know, you knew she was a Motley Crue fan, and so the hard rock people like me and John, we mark out with that and like, oh, that's cool. But it was just a garb. It's not. It wasn't.
Right. It was an outfit. It wasn't. Like, it wasn't a personality.
Yeah. This is like, I wanna see her now.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think what the reason why this has taken off so quickly and caught fire as it has, you look at Tony, and she 100% absolutely. She is this timeless character now. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And RJ is definitely helping her creatively.
Yeah. Yes,
because he knows all of this stuff.
He has that creative mind. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you just watch RJ's Sunday coffee in his underwear show, like all he's doing is standing there making coffee, just reading through the live chat on YouTube, and it's an hour of entertainment. And literally all he's doing is standing there reading the chat.
Right. Or even if you watch,
turn around and have a bacon strip in the back of his underwear.
I'll guarantee, just because of the type of guy he seems to be, that those drawers are absolutely clean and unblemished when he puts them on for coffee in his underwear. And again, even if you watch AEW on Sundays, where he does with the AEW talent, they're all so entertaining.
Oh my God. It struck me the other day watching the latest AEW from last weekend, how very similar it is to, remember Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
Yes.
It's so similar to that. And if any of you don't know Between Two Ferns, go look it up. It is fantastic. Yeah, very, very similar kind of format, very similar bit, with the host kind of, you know, being just that weird. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's
but yeah, perfect.
Even watch a couple of weeks ago with Anna Jay, and just to hear RJ say, "I have no labia. I'm not kayfabing you."
Yeah.
So just to hear him say that.
Because she does have a fat ass, PHAT, and that's by her own admission. So we can say that because she made the statement herself.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and RA reminds us tomorrow is Julia Hart. So
I wonder how that's going to go. Yeah. Are we going to see in character Julia Hart?
I would imagine so. I would imagine
so too. Although quick congratulations to her. Last weekend was married to Lee Johnson, also an AEW star. They tied the knot. So the pictures I saw online, they both looked very nice, and everybody seemed to have a good time. So congrats to the newlyweds.
And what's Lee doing? He's in the Ring of Honor, right?
Mainly, yeah. Now he's with Shane Taylor Promotions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That's Lee Moriarty. I'm sorry, but yes, Lee Johnson has been.
Oh, Lee Johnson's the.
No, that's Carly Bravo and Sean Dean and
Trish Adora.
Trish Adora, yes.
Shout out to Carly Bravo.
Yes. Bad news and tattoos. Yeah. Okay.
Shout out to Rudy.
I have two things from AEW at Rampage last night, especially because you're right. One of the gripes I've constantly had lately with AEW is while the the actual performers and stuff will be in it. It may change. It's still the same stuff. You're still going to get some kind of crazy luchador match,
right,
during the show. Some kind of crazy, multiple man, 5, 6, 8, 10-man tag team player, tag team match, holla, 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 and then one big kind of main event. And really honestly, the only story outside of what Tony Storm is doing, which really hasn't turned into a wrestling story yet, although it's very entertaining, is whatever,
we'll get there.
Whatever, whatever chapter or part of a story they're going to tell around MJF. And we saw a bunch of different aspects of it, this week. You had Samoa Joe saying, hey, man, nobody wants to be, I'll have your back. And then Joe, obviously, he's not being his friend. He's protecting his ability as I want my rematch.
Omega with the 3 days, bitch.
Yeah, with that, so there's like all of a sudden, and I'm not that I'm mad at it, but you have basically all these things, plus the issue with Jay White and Bullet Club Gold against MJF and all that. And, but still, it was very formulaic. It's been very formulaic. Now, we did have two cool things that came out of Rampage last night. One, the return of the zombie, Abaddon.
Yes.
Finally. God, I don't know where she's been. I don't know why. Thank you, AEW, for finally waking the F up and getting her back on television.
Yeah.
And
well, I am inclined to think that they only brought her out because it's Halloween.
Thank you.
But I'm hoping that we see her more.
Yes, she absolutely deserves to be. And for those that remember from when she was on TV and now, I don't want to say a different look per se, but definitely a different overall presentation from her original. Wait, dude, you have your self-portrait on a stick, Elder? Is that what we're supposed to be looking at there? Is that like a self-praise?
Listen, you have to have a living zombie head to walk around in the apocalypse. So
okay, all right.
I learned that.
Well, and yes, she is the living. Abaddon is the living dead girl. So,
and I'm just excited that I'm so happy that she's finally, back on TV, got given a chance, and then she went over to as well.
Yes, I was kind of surprised.
And she's getting a title shot.
Title shot. That's gonna.
She has a title shot tonight on Collision. So, and my other point, and pardon me, I'm about to mark out just a little bit and lose my mind for a couple seconds. The return, and the one thing I have been waiting to hear for quite a while is, of course, reach for the sky, boy. That's right. Returning on Rampage was my guy, Sussex County Chicken. Mark Briscoe is healed from his injury and back on TV on AEW. And for those of you who were on Zoom with us last night when that happened and heard my reaction, it was the reaction I just did now was very tame compared to what I was.
So awesome, man.
Everybody knows how big of a fan and everything I am of Mark and the Briscoe brothers in general. It was so cool to see him. I had seen some rumors and some reports, and I knew he was out injured for quite a while, but it's so cool to see that Chicken's back on TV. So for right now, for me, everything is right in the AEW world.
Yes. And another thing, so we had that vignette about MJF and Omega last night, which was a phenomenal video package.
Very well done.
Absolutely, very well done video package to kind of tell the story of MJF and Omega and kind of build up.
Yes,
tell the story.
Say it ain't so. AEW
we
tell
don't
the story.
hate AEW. We just want the story, right?
Yeah. And there's been little things here and there where I feel like they're, with certain stories, it's starting to go a good way. You're like, oh, they're really telling a story, and then it just kind of like it just doesn't really go anywhere. So that video package, especially last night, I was really happy to see. Because AEW doesn't really do a ton of production video packages like that.
Yeah, the only time you really see them is when they're building up to a pay-per-view. They usually do the countdown to the show or whatever. Yeah. And again, they're always well done, but
that they do their little, the elite videos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The talent themselves do their own little things on their TikTok or Instagram, whatever.
Right.
No. AEW itself has to show this stuff. They got to have the announcers tell the story, explain explain it. Listen, they have to do that. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting that you have multiple people coming after MJF right now. He's getting it from all sides. So I think that's really interesting because it's not one storyline of one rivalry. It's a whole bunch of people saying, I'm coming after you. And I really enjoy that. Also, Mongrovian, you have to give your perspective on this because you've been to their shows. But I'm very, very happy that Max Caster has professed his love for MJF on TV.
Yes.
We've seen it at the Creative Pro shows. We've seen it on Twitter for months and months and months. And he finally said it on TV.
He spoke the word that dare not say its name between two men. And he
loves the devil.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely great. I love the dynamic. Elder, you've been to the Creative Pro shows. You've seen their dynamic together. I've watched it on YouTube, and we've all seen the back and forths on Twitter. Yeah. It's absolutely hilarious. Max Caster, if by chance, it ain't gonna happen. If by chance Max Caster sees this, I love you.
Aww.
I love you.
Aww.
Max is so cool and chill. That's why you have to. He's at a ton of the Creative Pro shows, so
yeah.
He's there as often as he can.
Long Island is so far away.
It is. It's like, forget over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house.
Let's put it this way.
A moon flight takes less time to get to Long Island.
Yeah.
A lot of the shows are on a Friday. You sleep over in Mongrovian.
Yeah, Casa de Mongrovian.
I know.
He'll make you
I'll get there one day.
He'll make you real chicken farm.
Yeah.
Not like what we had in Albany.
We'll set a tent up for Seth outside. Don't worry.
But to piggyback off of that, I never quite understood, and now it seems like they are. But you mentioned how this whole thing with Max and MJF started basically on Twitter and has evolved and grown. The whole thing with Kenny and MJF actually started with a recent episode of BTE on YouTube, where he comes in, he's talking to Max, and then leans over and says 26 days, bitch. And that's where Max says to Kenny, 26 days, bitch. And what it was in reference to, we now understand, is the battle for the longest reign as AEW champion. And that's why during the promo last night, you see Kenny come out and say 3 days, bitch, when they're parting. So I don't know why that you have all this basically great story content that you're not utilizing up until recently. And I always wondered why you have all this out here, the stuff that Sammy does with the different wrestlers and stuff on his vlog, BTE, obviously, now, Max and MJF having this thing start on Twitter and evolve. I'm like, wow, all right, fine. You don't think you can do it. You can come up with it on your own or whatever. Just let these guys, let it happen, organically. And, now you're building interest because obviously people that watch BTE or Sammy's vlog or anything like that, they're invested already in that and in the show. They're going to watch them wrestle as well. One of the funniest things was a clip the other day from BTE was Okada trying on Matt Jackson's ring gear in front of him and totally no selling him, just putting the gear on. He's like, Matt's like, I haven't even worn that yet. And Okada's totally no selling them and just putting the gear on, and then trying to do super kicks. It's absolutely hysterical. But again, these are guys that are just have been and can just create their own stuff that's going to catch fire organically with the fans, and I don't know why they don't make more use of it.
Right. We'll see.
So this is Halloween weekend. Halloween's next week. Bully's giving that party. Unfortunately, John, you and I can't go. I realized I have a doctor's appointment the next day.
Figures
that I have to get all prepared for the day before. I was like, oh, that's
Monday and Tuesday are my physical therapy days.
I was ready to take the drive, but
although
LaGreca was talking about things.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Got a couple other weird stuff. Here you go. Night of 1,000 Cats. That sounds scary. Hey, Dad, you would like this. You probably saw this already. Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
I think I've seen that one.
That's
cool. It's kind of comedy horror.
The classic Exorcist.
Oh yeah, I like the Exorcist.
American Werewolf in London.
Great song.
I don't know, but
great song. Yes, great song.
Right, Ezra's favorite Friday the 13th. I don't know why. He's a knucklehead, but
is Ezra even here? Is he even here?
When did he get?
I don't know when he got here.
Fright Night. Watch Fright Night.
Yes.
There you go.
Excellent. There you go. Put that on
Devil's Rejects.
Newer Rob Zombie. Absolutely.
Horror, baby.
You need you need your own laminated top 10 list. Elder.
I love it. Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh my God.
You got Spit? I Spit on Your Grave.
Texas Chainsaw 2.
Okay.
Oh God.
Not my favorite, but okay.
The
Chucky,
OG. The OG.
Pass on Chucky. Not a fan.
You ever see this one? This is the scariest one of all.
Oh my. Oof.
I don't like scary stuff, Dave.
Right. Yeah.
And look, that's why I have him right next to Halloween. Halloween.
Speaking of, I usually have my Mark Henry 8x10 right here. It fell off the wall earlier this week, so I don't know what that's about.
He didn't want to see scary stuff. He knows what time of year it is. He didn't want to see scary stuff.
Hey, listen, did you ever see the Don Callis zombie?
Don Callis is a no-sock wearing Canadian fucking hack.
It.
Look, he's got the screwdriver in his eye, though. Someone
should. Put some socks on him.
All right. Let's wrap this shit up so we can go watch.
All right. Yes, we got a whole kinds of stuff. Collision starting momentarily. Battleground starting. So, yeah. Where may those folks get a hold of you?
At That's So Debonair on the Twitter machine and the Instagram. I mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but my grandmother passed away a couple weeks ago. Is the first loss that I've had of a grandparent. So it's kind of been a little difficult, but I'm managing. However,
you found a leg for John, though.
I did.
I want it back. I do.
We had a family get together last Saturday. It was, and I say this wholeheartedly, the coolest funeral ever. And if you don't know what I mean, check out the pictures I posted on Instagram. We had just a family gathering at one of those bar, hotel, inns. And it was, the place was all decorated for Halloween, of course. And we had just rented out the restaurant part of the bar. So yeah, it was fantastic. It was, fun. And that's what Grandma Sue would have wanted. She would have laughed at the zany, wacky decor. Mm-hmm. She would have enjoyed that all of her family and friends were getting together and laughing and sharing stories. So yeah, it was special. It was nice. Check out the pictures and laugh at the weirdest funeral ever.
Very cool. Yeah, and hey, Deb, when you get a chance, DM me or text me the name of that bar because I want royalties for this. Okay, I want royalties for this. I want royalties. All right, that's all. I just want my cut.
Yes.
I don't. I just want my cut.
Listen,
if any of you saw the pictures, it was the most hilarious thing. We get there and we sit down at a table, and it just so happens that the table we sit down at has a decoration hanging right above it of a severed leg, the bottom half of a leg. And I was like, oh shit, I found John's leg.
Yes.
Might have been this guy's leg.
Might have. I don't care to use it. I just want my cut. That's all. I got bills to pay.
And just the irony of going to a funeral, not really a funeral, but just a family gathering, celebration of life type deal at a place that's decorated for Halloween with signs that say "Rest in Pieces." She would have loved it. My dad kept laughing like the whole time. He was cracking up. This is so ridiculous. She would have thought it was hilarious.
Right.
And by the way, people, this guy's working there. Like Bobby Heenan would say, he's gold bricking it. He's going to be doing this like Cowboy Bob Orton. He's going to be doing this for like years. Stop working us already. Nah, really. I can't wait till you get your prosthesis and you're around. You get your one-legged ass-kicking championship belt.
Right.
And you walk around proudly, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can go to a show and have Tommy Dreamer use it as a weapon.
Absolutely. That is absolutely one of the goals of my prosthetic leg is to either hand it over to Tommy or Bully at some point to hit somebody with.
Hey, you know that Ace Frehley song, Rip It Out? Rip it out.
Oh my God.
It's my heart.
I cannot wait to just be in the crowd and pop my leg up and say, or have a sign saying Tommy or Bully use my leg.
Yep.
But
Anywho. Elder Mongrovian.
Where were you? Where are you?
He's at Mongrovian Mike on all the
Yeah, he is on the.
I'm over here.
He's hiding. No, you got to do the Cena. You can't see me.
Fuck you, zombies.
Oh my God.
Choke on it. Choke on it.
Oh my God. Okay.
And of course. Yeah, of course, I am. I don't do the whole finger thing because I never get it right. I am at Twisted Metal Fab on the X or Twitter or Twix, depending on who you are and how you say it, and the Instagram. And always remember, this part I do get right, Deb. Hashtag Nation's Corner on location. Let us know where you're at, who you're seeing, who you're liking. Anywhere you go out seeing live shows, support indie wrestling, support indie wrestlers, support women's wrestling, and support women wrestlers. Let us know. Post pictures. You know who you seeing during the meet and greets, who you're watching wrestle. Let us know the promotion. Let us know the talent you're seeing. Because remember, the talent you're seeing now at your local indie show, and I can attest to this dozens and dozens of times over. You see them now on the come up, and 5 years from now, they're weekly on your television. So support indie wrestling overall.
Yes.
And see the stars, literally the stars of tomorrow before they could become those stars.
Yes.
So, of course, as always, folks, like, subscribe, and follow us on our social medias listed below, and also here on the YouTube. So, for myself, for Deb Housen, for Mongrovian Mike, I am John in South Jersey, and we will see you all.
This is me, mommy and daddy ass.
Next week.